The emergency beacon pierced through the silence of the diplomatic vessel Horizon's edge. Ambassador Hazel Chen stood motionless before the holographic display, her dark eyes fixed on the Council's ultimatum scrolling across the screen. Behind her, Captain Leo Martinez watched the color drain from her face. "They can't be serious," Leo muttered, reading over her shoulder. The Galactic Council's demands were laid out in cold, bureaucratic language: immediate surrender of Earth's autonomous defense grid, mandatory genetic registration of all humans, and the installation of council overseers in every major human settlement. Hazel's jaw tightened. "Oh, they're serious. They've been waiting for this opportunity for 3 years. The opportunity had come in the form of the Kepler incident, a human colony ship that had defended itself against Vraxian pirates, destroying two raiding vessels in the process. The Council, dominated by species who had never faced true existential threats, called it excessive force. They conveniently ignored that the Vraxians had boarded human vessels before, leaving no survivors. What are you going to tell them?" Leo asked. Hazel turned to face him, and he saw something in her expression that made him stand straighter. It wasn't fear or uncertainty. It was the cold, calculated resolve that had helped humanity claw its way from nuclear fire to the stars. "I'm going to tell them exactly what they need to hear," she said. The Council chamber was a marvel of engineering, a spherical room where representatives from 47 species floated in their preferred atmospheres, each in their own environmental bubble. Hazel walked to the center platform, her boots clicking against the crystalline floor. She wore no environmental suit. Humanity had long ago adapted to be comfortable in the Council's standard atmosphere. That adaptation was just one of many things that made the other species uncomfortable. "Ambassador Chen," High Chancellor Vothan began, his tentacles undulating now at past for satisfaction among his kind. "You have reviewed our terms." "I have," Hazel replied, her voice carrying through the translation matrix to all assembled representatives. "Then you will agree that these measures are necessary for galactic peace." Vothan continued. "Humanity's aggressive tendencies must be curtailed. Your species has shown." "No." The single word echoed through the chamber. Vothan's tentacles froze mid-gesture. "I'm sorry," he said, though his tone suggested he wasn't sorry at all. "I said no, High Chancellor. Humanity declines your terms." A ripple of shock passed through the chamber. The Delphinian representative's chromatophores flashed angry red. The Turellian delegation began chattering among themselves. Decline." Vothan's voice carried disbelief. "Ambassador, perhaps you misunderstand. These are not negotiations. The Council has voted." "The Council," Hazel interrupted, her voice sharp as a blade, "has overreached." She pulled out a data crystal and inserted it into the central podium. Images flooded the chamber. Every conflict in the past decade where Council members had called upon human military assistance. The Orion plague that human doctors had cured. The Rimward Gate that human engineers had rebuilt after the Cascade. Battle after battle where human soldiers had bled to protect Council worlds. For 10 years, humanity has served this Council faithfully. Hazel continued. "We have bled for you, died for you, and now, because we defended our own people against pirates, you demand we surrender our sovereignty." "The Vraxians have filed a formal complaint," Vothan began. "The Vraxians are slavers and pirates." Hazel's voice rose, and Leo, watching from the visitors' gallery, felt a surge of pride. "They've raided 17 human settlements in the past 2 years alone. But when we fight back, when we actually win, suddenly we're the problem." "Your species is dangerous," the Delphinian representative interjected. "You evolved as apex predators on a death world. Your history is soaked in blood." "Our history," Hazel said coldly, "is one of overcoming. Yes, we've known war, we've known suffering, and because of that, we learned to be strong, we learned to survive, we learned that peace isn't maintained by surrendering to bullies, it's maintained by being strong enough that bullies think twice. This is outrageous." Vothan's tentacles whipped in agitation. "If you refuse our terms, humanity will be expelled from the Council. Your trade agreements will be voided. Your ships will be barred from Council space. You will be alone. Hazel smiled, and it was not a pleasant expression. Alone. High Chancellor, let me tell you what alone means to humanity. She gestured to the data still floating in the chamber. It means the 17 Council worlds currently protected by human peacekeepers will need to find new protectors. It means the Orion sector, currently patrolled by the Human Defense Fleet, will be open to piracy. It means the 73 research stations we operate will close. Taking their medical breakthroughs with them, she took a step forward, and despite the distance, Vaughn seemed to lean back. It means that when the next crisis comes, and it will come, because the galaxy is a dangerous place, you'll face it without us, without our doctors, without our engineers, without our soldiers. Her eyes swept the chamber. Ask yourselves, how many of you are prepared for that? Silence fell across the council chamber. Leo watched as representatives began conferring with their delegations. The Delphinians' chromatophores had faded to uncertain purple. Even Vathran's tentacles had stilled. You're bluffing, Vathran said, but his voice lacked conviction. Am I? Hazel pulled up another display. Fleet movements, already in progress. Human vessels were pulling back from council space, returning to Earth and her colonies. Humanity is done begging for respect from those who see us as useful monsters. We'll walk away from your peace if that's what it takes to maintain our dignity. She deactivated the display and turned toward the exit. Ambassador, Vathran called out. Wait, we can discuss this. Hazel paused at the threshold. When you're ready to speak to us as equals, High Chancellor, humanity will listen. Until then, we have a saying. Don't start none. Won't be none. She left the council chamber without looking back. Leo fell into step beside her as they walked toward the docking bay. Think they'll fold? He asked quietly. Hazel's smile was grim. They will, because they know what we know, humanity, and dangerous, because we're aggressive. We're dangerous because when pushed, we don't just push back. We push forward, behind them. The council chamber erupted into panic debate. The galaxy was learning a lesson that tyrants throughout human history had learned the hard way. Some species kneel when threatened. Humans walk away, and the universe trembles at the sound of their footsteps fading into the dark end.